lenders are a really important player as we are building out this program, because we know at the end of the day, we all want to help homeowners, which includes you. And look, like, what we are excited about is these funds that we will provide more detail are part of that larger package with the American Rescue Plan. And at the height of the pandemic, we know about 1.2 million Wisconsinites couldn't pay their bills, which includes their mortgages. And so this has been a collaborative effort to date with a few players that I just want to make sure we recognize. The first is the Wisconsin Community Action Network, WisCap, and their CAP agencies across the state. Decker, and I know Landon to share more of the details, my office, and a new organization called Take Root Wisconsin, which was formed out of our homeownership task force that we did back in 2020. So the Wisconsin Help for Homeowners program is going to focus on really two parts. The first is with mortgage assistance and principal reduction. And the second part, which I think is a bit unique, but also incredibly important, and we were so glad to hear that this was also included, is with property taxes and other arrears, because we know that's also part of the larger picture with homeownership. So today we're going to discuss the eligibility and other components of this plan, but our goal at the end of the day is two things. First is that we really hope that you guys refer homeowners to this program. But the other piece is that we really, our goal is that you want to fill out what's called these collaboration agreement forms, because that's then going to allow us to be able to make direct payments to you as the lender on behalf of the homeowner. So that's the takeaway, and just wanted to provide a bit more of that 20,000 foot view that we hope to accomplish within the next hour. And please know that if there's ever anything I can do, my office, Decker, WisCap, we are going to make this program as successful as possible, because we are all working to address homeownership together. So with that, Landon, I'm going to turn it over to you, and Landon's with the Division of Energy, Housing, and Community Resources, and he's going to provide more details. So take it away, Landon.
Thank you so much, State Treasurer Godlewski, for the kind introduction. I really appreciate it. As the State Treasurer just said, my name is Landon Williams, and I am the Policy Initiative Advisor for the Division of Energy, Housing, and Community Resources, known as Decker, at the Wisconsin Department of Administration. It is my great pleasure to be here with you all today to discuss the Wisconsin Help for Homeowners program, as funded by the Homeowner Assistance Fund and administered by the U.S. Department of the Treasury. The goals of today's presentation are multiple. First, we wanted to provide you all with the most up-to-date plan for administering the Wisconsin Help for Homeowners program. We wanted to give you all a little bit more information about the requirements to access these funds. And then probably most importantly, we wanted to give you all a forum to ask questions of the Decker team regarding the WHH program. So before we get started, I just have a couple of really quick housekeeping items. We have in front of you a very lovely PowerPoint presentation that we're going to use to convey this information. I plan on taking a few breaks in the presentation as we go along to facilitate questions and answers. What I ask from you guys, if you wouldn't mind just holding your questions until we get to one of the break points, or if you want to enter them into the chat, we will answer those first as we go along. And I think, Julie, if you don't mind, I am using my laptop in my basement. I'm a bit technologically limited at the moment. If we have any chat questions, Julie, when we get to a break, I might ask you to read those to me if you would, because I am kind of limited in what sort of controls I have in front of me on this presentation. And then
Sure.
I'll answer any verbal. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it.
And Landon, just one thing. I don't know if you've been trying to advance the slides.
Not
or
yet.
do you need me?
Oh, I should do that.
Okay, okay.
You are right. Let me see. Okay, there we go. That seems to be working.
Okay, great. Just wanted to double check. Perfect. All right.
Perfect. Sorry. Thank you so much.
I will definitely keep eyes on the chat. No problem at all.
All right, thank you. Okay, and with that, why don't we get started on the presentation itself? We'd like to start by giving you a little bit more background on the division, if you're not familiar with us. So, the Department of Administration's Division of Energy, Housing, and Community Resources develops housing policy and offers a broad range of program assistance and funds to address homelessness and support affordable housing, public infrastructure, and economic development opportunities. We partner with local governments and service providers, nonprofit agencies, housing authorities, developers, and a number of other groups. We administer the statewide program to assist eligible households with electric and heating bill payment assistance. We provide benefits and services to assist with energy crisis situations and weatherization services. We also administer the Wisconsin Emergency Rental Assistance Program, known as WERA, helping renters impacted by COVID-19 remain in their homes. I'm not going to read you the entire language about this, but as I said briefly, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 created the Homeowner Assistance Fund, or the HAP, which is administered by the U.S. Department of the Treasury. ARPA provided almost $10 billion in federal assistance to provide mortgage delinquencies and defaults, foreclosures, loss of utilities or home energy services, and displacement of homeowners due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That is the total amount appropriated nationwide. Once ARPA was passed, Governor Evers directed the Department of Administration's Division of Housing and Community Resources to manage and operate the HAP on behalf of the state of Wisconsin. The funds are provided directly to states, U.S. territories, local governments, and Indian tribes. And the state of Wisconsin received a total of $92.7 million in federal HAP funding. Now, one of the requirements under the American Rescue Plan Act was that before states could access the full amount of the homeowner assistance funds, or the full amount, or the full $92.7 million, the state had to develop a plan. And in that plan, we had to have a number of components, one of which is a needs assessment. And so the state of Wisconsin's needs assessment outlines the homeownership landscape in Wisconsin and also estimates the impact that the coronavirus pandemic has had on homeowners. Wisconsin has an estimated 1.6 million homeowners, including mortgaged homeowners who are in forbearance or delinquent on their mortgage, non-mortgaged homeowners who may be delinquent on their property taxes, condominium owners who may be behind on their monthly maintenance or HOA fees, manufactured homeowners who may have other types of housing debt and are in arrears due to the impacts of COVID-19. The Wisconsin Help for Homeowners program includes two core programs: the Mortgage Reinstatement and Principal Reduction Program, and the Non-Mortgage Arrears Satisfaction Program. Both programs are aimed at avoiding foreclosure and/or displacement of low and moderate income, as well as socially disadvantaged people. So under the Homeowners Assistance Fund, we've had to create several definitions, a couple of which I'd like to go over with you at this time. So under the plan, socially disadvantaged individuals has been defined using guidance, which is as follows. Individuals are those whose ability to purchase or own a home has been impaired due to diminished access to credit on reasonable terms as compared to others in comparable economic circumstances, based on disparities in home ownership rates in the HAF participants' jurisdiction, as documented by the U.S. Census. The impairment must stem from circumstances beyond their control. In addition to that, Treasury guidance lists indicators that the agency believes may demonstrate such an impairment, and also allows HAF participants to develop their own processes to determine whether an individual is socially disadvantaged, based on Treasury's definition. The state of Wisconsin has also defined financial hardship as a material reduction in income or material increase in living expenses associated with the coronavirus pandemic that has created or increased a risk of mortgage delinquency, mortgage default, foreclosure, loss of utilities or home energy services, or displacement for a homeowner. So how did we determine the homeowners who may be at risk? Well, we utilized a variety of data sets and industry surveys to determine the extent to which various types of homeowners may be at risk of default, eviction, foreclosure, or housing instability. The state used a combination of a number of data sources, and I'm not going to list all of those, including data on loan performance collected and compiled by the private research firm Black Knight LLC, and access under agreement with the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. So we analyzed those findings with a particular focus on income segmentation, race, and ethnicity, as well as mortgage type. And utilizing that information, we estimated delinquencies related to housing costs, including housing costs other than home mortgages. For example, chattel and retail installment loans, condominium association and maintenance fees, and property tax arrears. Okay. So without going into too much detail on this chart, we estimated the target populations as follows. Using Census ACS data to estimate the number of homeowners in Wisconsin, both with mortgages and without, who may be eligible for assistance based on income and being in a socially disadvantaged group. The original analysis was based on several of the indicators of impairment listed under the Treasury definition. However, it may be under-inclusive of the full scope of socially disadvantaged individuals in the state that would meet the Treasury's definition. And so as you can see across the chart here, from all households, those with a mortgage total about 2.7 million in the state of Wisconsin, and without a mortgage, about 1.1 million. Of those, just over 1 million with a mortgage are less than or equal to 100% of the area median income, and about 500,000 are less than or equal to 100% of the AMI without a mortgage. The state of Wisconsin has cut off eligibility or has restricted eligibility for half funding to those less than or equal to 100% of the AMI in both of its programs. And so at this point in time, we are estimating that this is the full population that could be eligible to receive funding under the homeowner assistance as it is written. Okay, so before we get into the programs, what I'd like to do is pause briefly and see if there are any questions from the group as to the way the state of Wisconsin has developed its plan up to this point. Julie, do you see anything in the chat?
Not yet.
Okay. Any questions from the group? Okay, I'll move on before that gets to be too uncomfortable. Let's start with the mortgage reinstatement or principal reduction program. And a brief overview of the program goes as follows. The program is intended for homeowners who cannot achieve an affordable loss mitigation solution offered by their loan servicer and may be eligible for a partial or full reinstatement of owed principal, interest, taxes, and insurance payments under the program. Homeowners exiting a mortgage forbearance agreement, as well as homeowners who are denied or missed the option to go into forbearance, are encouraged to apply under this program. The underlying mortgage issues are to be resolved in their entirety. That is the overarching goal of the program. In instances where the Wisconsin HAF funds are insufficient to resolve the situation, homeowners may leverage HAF funds with other available funds, including personal resources, to fully resolve the situation that they're finding themselves in. Loan servicers or investors should offer all available loss mitigation options to the borrower prior to the Wisconsin HAF eligibility being determined. And if the option is affordable and reasonable, the homeowner should accept the offer. Okay, the goals of the program are to provide financial assistance to eligible homeowners to make their mortgage affordable and sustainable, resulting in home ownership retention where it otherwise would not be possible. The program is targeting eligible homeowners with mortgages who are exiting forbearance or are delinquent and who earn less than or equal to 100% of the AMI. So a quick overview. Eligible homeowners must meet the following criteria. They must be a natural person or trustee of a living trust that holds title to the property. Heirs, equitable owners, and successors in interest, as that term is defined in section 1024.31 of Title 12 of the CFR, meet this ownership requirement. The homeowner must have experienced a qualified financial hardship after January 21st, 2020. They must currently own and occupy the property as their primary residence. They must meet the homeowner income eligibility requirements. They also must agree to provide all necessary documentation to satisfy program guidelines within the timeframes established by the state, including self-certification or attestation of socially disadvantaged status, if applicable. The original unpaid principal balance of the homeowner's first mortgage or housing loan at the time of origination was not greater than the conforming loan limits in effect at the time of the loan origination. Eligible homeowners should be able to pay ongoing housing costs and are encouraged to accept housing counseling services. And co-owners are not permitted to separately apply for the WHH program. Okay, what properties are eligible? Single family properties, condominium units, 2 to 4 unit properties where the homeowner is living in one of the units as their primary residence, and manufactured homes permanently affixed and taxed as real property are eligible under this program. Ineligible properties include homes that are vacant or abandoned, second homes, and non-owner occupied investment properties. Okay, and these are the costs that are eligible under the program. And they include housing obligations that were not due prior to January 21st, 2020. For example, existing first mortgage loan payment, principal and interest, as well as escrow shortages. Mortgage refinance costs, primarily closing costs and points. Subordinate lien payments, the principal and interest of which. Land contract monthly payments, again, principal and interest. Utilities, including electric, gas, home energy, and water, if arrearages are not otherwise covered from another source of funds. Internet service is also included, if arrearages are not otherwise covered from another source. Condominium association fees, including for lien extinguishment, are eligible, as well as the homeowner's hazard, flood, and/or mortgage insurance. And as the state treasurer said right away at the beginning, delinquent property taxes are also eligible. So assistance under this program will be structured as follows. So the total monetary assistance awarded below $10,000 to a single homeowner will be structured as a grant. Total WHH monetary assistance exceeding $10,000 will be structured as a 1-year, non-interest bearing, non-amortizing forgivable loan. The loan is due in full upon sale, refinance, or transfer of ownership. However, if no resale, transfer, or refinance occurs within 1 year post the award, and the homeowner remains in the home, the loan will be fully forgiven, and the mortgage note or the note will be then moot. Depending on the loss mitigation option made available by the loan servicer, the mortgage reinstatement and principal reduction program will pay the amount needed to make the loss mitigation solution affordable and sustainable to the borrower. Awards will be provided only if the underlying matter is resolved in its entirety and will not exceed the WHH maximum assistance amount of $40,000 per house. Okay, so that's the first program that we're offering. Before I dive into the second program, I'd like to pause again for any questions that might be submitted by the group. Julie, do you want to again look at the chat for me, please?
Still clear.
Wow. Okay, any verbal questions from the group? Okay, well, this must be a really thorough presentation. Again, feel free to either submit questions in the chat as we go along, or if you'd like to hold those questions for the end, you may do so as well, and bombard us as a group at that time if that works for you. So moving on to our second component of the WHH program, the non-mortgage arrears satisfaction program. Quick overview. Homeowners who do not have a mortgage but are delinquent on housing obligations such as, but not fully inclusive, property taxes, insurances, water and sewer charges, homeowner association and/or maintenance fees, seniors with reverse mortgages or chattel loans and/or retail installment contracts are eligible under the non-mortgage arrears satisfaction. The goal of this program is to, again, provide financial assistance to eligible homeowners to satisfy non-mortgage arrears, resulting in homeownership retention where it otherwise would not have been possible. We are targeting homeowners without mortgages who are delinquent on property taxes, insurance, water and sewage, and who earn less than 100% of the AMI. Again, included in this target population are seniors with reverse mortgages. Homeowners in a manufactured home community who are delinquent on their home loans and who earn less than 100% of the AMI are eligible to apply. Again, the eligibility criteria is very similar to our first program. They must be a natural person or trustee of a living trust that holds title to the property, as explained before. They must have experienced a qualified financial hardship after January 21st, 2020. They must currently own and occupy the property as their primary residence. They must meet the homeowner income eligibility requirements. They must also agree to provide all necessary documentation to satisfy program guidelines within time frames, including, again, self-certification or attestation of socially disadvantaged, as applicable. Homeowners should have the ability to pay their ongoing housing costs and are encouraged to accept housing counseling services. And again, co-owners are not permitted to separately apply for WHH assistance. Again, the eligible properties, sorry about that. Here we go. Again, the eligible properties mirror the first program, including single-family properties, condominium units, 2 to 4 unit properties where the homeowner is living in one of the units as their primary residence. Manufactured homes permanently affixed and taxed as real property are eligible. And manufactured homes on leased land in manufactured home communities are also eligible. Again, ineligible properties include homes that are vacant or abandoned, second homes, and non-owner occupied investment properties. Eligible uses for the funds are as follows. They must be not due prior to January 21st, 2020, and include delinquent property taxes, homeowners hazard, flood, and/or mortgage insurance, existing chattel or retail installment loan payment of principal and interest, manufactured home loan, monthly payment P&I, and lot rent if applicable, utilities, including electric, gas, home energy, and water, if arrearages are not otherwise covered from another source of funds, internet service, including broadband, again, if not otherwise covered, and condominium association fees, including for lien extinguishment, are eligible uses of the proceeds. Again, assistance will be structured as follows. The total monetary assistance below $10,000 will be a grant, and total monetary assistance exceeding $10,000 will again be a 1-year non-interest bearing forgivable loan. Again, due in full upon sale, refinance, or transfer of ownership within that first year of the award being made. However, after that first year of the award being made, if that homeowner remains in that home, the lien is then, or the note is then extinguished. The maximum funding is limited to $40,000 again per household for eligible homeowners under. Okay, I'd like to pause once again to see if there are any questions from the group before I dive into the last segment of the presentation.
There's one question, Landon, from Bethany. Will you be filing a mortgage on a grant more than 10K? And once the year has passed, will you automatically satisfy it?
That's a great question, Bethany, and thank you. No, it will not be a mortgage lien. It will be a promissory note that will be administered locally by one of our partner organizations, but it will not be a lien or a mortgage document. Any other questions from the group? Okay, I will dive into the last segment. So, the state of Wisconsin has partnered with a number of organizations to develop its plan and has selected the Wisconsin Community Action Program Network and its member agencies to administer the Wisconsin Help for Homeowners program. We are entering into an agreement with the Office of the State Treasurer using the Take Root Wisconsin and Foreclosure Prevention Fund model of identifying and assisting eligible households with property tax delinquencies. So under the Treasurer's Task Force for Homeowners, the Office of the State Treasurer has coordinated with local treasurers, WISCAP, and member community action agencies, lenders and financial institutions, and housing nonprofits to build models for sustainable homeownership in Wisconsin. The COVID-19 Early Intervention Foreclosure Prevention Program, which was piloted in La Crosse County, demonstrates how the local treasurer, area cap agency, legal assistance organization, and lenders can work together to create an ecosystem to help struggling homeowners. So the application process for the WHH program is as follows. Applicants may apply in person with partner agencies or apply directly using an online portal, which will be accessible 24/7 to accept applications. The state of Wisconsin has entered into an agreement with the Neighborly Software Corporation to provide this portal for the state of Wisconsin, and a URL will be released shortly once the program is up and running for people to submit their applications. The online application will collect all required information as well as accept uploads of supporting documents. And once an application is submitted, it will be processed in the order it was received. It will be assessed for eligibility and completeness, and if further information is needed, the program administrator will work with the homeowner, their advocate, or other authorized representative to submit all outstanding and required information. Once an application has been completed, the program administrator will provide the homeowner with a decision. And if the application is approved, funding will be provided directly to the debt holding entity as per the WHH payment process. Payments under WHH will not be made directly to homeowners. So in addition to providing payments for the cost identified for each of the programs, Decker or its partners will contract with nonprofit housing counseling and legal services entities to provide services on a statewide basis. Contracted organizations are dedicated or will be contractually obligated to work with low-income families. Service providers will assist targeted homeowners with application submission and may also assist borrowers in negotiations with lien holders, mortgage servicers, tax collecting authorities, insurance providers, and investor groups. Contracted agencies may also provide consultations to homeowners who may be at risk of foreclosure or eviction. All outreach materials and application materials used by contracted agencies and the state of Wisconsin's portal will be available in multiple languages, including English, Spanish, Somali, and Hmong. Okay, so a little bit more background information on the loan servicer participation. All loan servicers must sign Decker's collaboration agreement to participate, and there will be one agreement will cover all homeowners for that loan servicer. All DOA Decker financial documents must be completed and returned prior to payments being made to the servicer. And again, payments will be made directly to the loan servicer. So just a quick recap on program and eligibility requirements. The original unpaid principal balance of the homeowner's first mortgage or outstanding loan at the time of origination and was not greater than the conforming loan limits in effect at the time of the origination. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, USDA, and VA loans are automatically eligible. The principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, escrow shortages, and reasonable fees are eligible under the programs. HELOCs are not eligible under either of the programs offered under the WHH. However, reverse mortgages are eligible. Program administrators will verify the mortgage information with the loan servicer using the common data file or a verification of the mortgage. Again, assistance under both programs are limited to $40,000 per homeowner. If assistance needs to exceed the $40,000, Program administrators or housing counselors will work with the servicer and homeowner to achieve a solution. Homeowners are required to explore loss mitigation options, however, are not required to accept them. Homeowners in active bankruptcy may be eligible on a case-by-case basis, and properties in foreclosure may be eligible for assistance. Okay, the next steps. Upon request, a collaboration agreement and required forms will be emailed to you as a lender. If you have questions regarding these forms, please contact Tamara Fabian, who is the WHH Program Administrator for the state of Wisconsin, at tamara.fabian@wisconsin.gov. And again, what I'd like to do now is break for a third time for questions that you guys might have regarding the program.
So Landon, I just want to, sorry, I need to be a little further back from my computer. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. So one question we got in the chat was, will the lender be notified when a borrower applies?
And the question to that is yes.
Okay.
We will need to, we will have a number of CDF files that will be already submitted and provided by lenders that we've already worked with. However, once an application is submitted, if we do not have a CDF file for that lender or a collaboration agreement on file, we will send those documents to you, and then those will be submitted and returned. It will be, it's a requirement that those files are entered before assistance can be provided. So we will be working directly with you as lenders to make sure that that is submitted to facilitate the award being made. Great question.
So I wanted to just provide a little bit of clarification on the collaboration agreement piece. So what we need folks to do is to email Tamara Fabian with a request to have the collaboration agreement materials emailed to you. She's going to be tracking those documents, and so she'd like a request so that she can keep track of what documents are outstanding. And I think maybe Jessica, did you have a question? I saw a virtual hand get raised. Nope. Okay. Wonderful. All right.
Okay. Just really briefly, we've got some contact information on this screen to provide for you all. These are both for Decker as well as WisCap and Take Root Wisconsin. This information will be provided on the WHH, not only the portal, but it will also be provided on the Decker website for the WHH program. I'm sorry, for the Department of Administration's website for the WHH program. We will be providing more information both through this website as well as through our partner organizations as we get closer to the launch. At this point in time, I want to thank you all for your participation in this program and for your continued partnership as we work towards launch of the WHH. And at this point in time, what I'd like to do is see if there are any closing remarks from the State Treasurer.
So Landon, we're going to turn it over to Joanna, who we have with us from Take Root Wisconsin, to just say a little more about the partnership. So
perfect.
Joanna,
thank you.
Away.
Thank you so much. I'll make it brief. Joanna Jimenez, the Take Root Wisconsin program manager. I was also the previous program manager for the Take Root Milwaukee chapter of this type of network, and so I just wanted to put the face with the name, and I know we have a lot of guests here today, so I'm excited about that. Just a little bit of background, on Take Root Milwaukee and what we're hoping to create with Take Root Wisconsin is truly a partnership beyond, programs as this. but this is what these programs, these networks were created for, is to provide assistance to our homeowners, our clients. And so in Take Root Wisconsin, we want to be able to partner with, organizations as yourselves and others, community leaders, government entities, housing counseling agencies, realtors, and realtors association, just to name a few of the partners that you can have access to through the network of Take Root Wisconsin. And so, excuse me, my email address is listed on the presentation, but I encourage you to also visit our website where we're providing information on the network. Obviously, the more people we can collaborate with, or the more organizations and companies we can collaborate with, the more assistance we're going to be able to provide to our homeowners in Wisconsin. And just to kind of give you a snapshot of, the calls and inquiries that we've already been receiving, my colleague Andy, who is listed on this presentation as well, is available to answer any questions, just as I am, and also the other panelists here today. So we have received over 700 inquiries, phone calls, or emails from people all over Wisconsin that are seeking help. We are keeping those people, documented. We have a database going so that when we're ready to launch this program, we're going to refer those people right away to the agencies. And so I would urge you, it was mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, to think about your clients who may be experiencing hardship, and help us spread the word and participate in helping homeowners stay in their homes in Wisconsin. Again, I'm available for any questions. Please reach out to me anytime, and I would be happy to give you more information both about the program and Take a Root Wisconsin. I would love to partner with you guys to grow this network. So thank you for having me.
Thanks, Joanna. A couple more questions are coming in. Landon, you might be the best to answer these. We also might need to come back to folks if we don't have the answers quite yet. Jennifer is asking, will there be any tax implications to the homeowner? And if the homeowners already have some kind of deferral or assistance provided, will that affect their eligibility?
Those are great questions. Tax questions are always a little bit tricky, just because it will depend on the circumstances surrounding the funds, and the totality of the individual. But it is our understanding that these funds are not taxable, but more information will be provided to the families or to the homeowners based upon the receipt of the funding. And then can you run through the second question again, Julie?
Yeah, the question was, if homeowners already have some kind of deferral or assistance provided, will that impact their eligibility?
That's also a great question. Yeah, so obviously the costs that have already been offset are not going to be eligible under the Wisconsin Help Homeowners Program. So for example, if they're getting energy assistance to help with their utilities, we're going to have to take that into consideration with the costs that will be offset under this program. However, any costs that have not been fulfilled from other programs are eligible under WHH.
Thank you, Landon. Maria asks, can our borrowers mix WIDA programs?
Mix WIDA programs. I might need a little bit more information about that. But again, if they're applying to WIDA for assistance, like for instance, like if a homeowner is behind on like a WIDA home mortgage, those costs would be eligible under the WHH. We can assist those homeowners with delinquencies on a WIDA home mortgage. Otherwise, I'm not sure.
She followed up And Maria, feel free to take yourself off mute too if it's easier. But she said in case they need to refinance their homes. And so I know we've been in contact with WIDA. They're aware of this program as well, and are working with their lender network as well to get this information out to folks. But I don't know if you have any information specifically around, WIDA and refinancing and this program.
Yeah, and that's a great question. Mortgage refinance, so like closing costs and points are eligible under WHH. And if they have a WIDA home loan that they would like to refinance, we can work with them.
Thanks, Landon. And then Jessica asks, are borrowers with farm properties with single family residences eligible?
That's a great question. I think what we would need to do is work with them to really determine what is delinquent there, because the program is limited just to the mortgage of the property itself, so the home. That is the primary aspect that is eligible. So depending on the situation, we may be able to assist that family.
Thank you. No other questions in the chat. Yeah, just appreciate everyone's time and putting this together. We're going to continue to share information. I know that many of you got this through different committees and associations that you're a part of, and so we'll continue to communicate with those committees. The homeownerhelp.wi.gov website will continue to be updated with more information, and you can feel free to reach out to us at the State Treasurer's Office as well if you ever have any questions. So thank you so much for being here this morning, and yeah, with that, I'll kind of close us out.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, everybody.
Jessica just asked if I will be emailing the PowerPoint. If you'd like a PowerPoint email to you, or I'm going to be putting the link to this recording on our YouTube page. If you could just drop your email to me, I'm happy to send you the PowerPoint. If you want to just drop your email in the chat to me, that would be great. Okay. Thank you all so much. You have a good rest of your day. Take care.